is going to be a three-way fight. Normally, these tournaments are four-player, but since we had an odd number, we're just going to have some three-way. That's going to be Braxis Muse, Diabetes the Second, and the Hangry Canuck. Please give all of our runners a like and a subscribe. So, these first three chests in here. First, let's go over what this randomizer randomizes. And in short, most things that you'd think of. You've got randomized monster abilities, a randomized map, randomized where the cities are, where the dungeons are, all that good stuff. But in this first week, we actually have another set of randomizer flags. As you can see, they're getting in here without needing keys. That's a new flag. Another one is going to be Short Sharlock. So instead of having to go through all of the levels of Sharlock, we're just going to go ahead and go straight to the Dragon Lord's level, which makes for some interesting stuff. In addition, we've got Scaredy Metal Slimes. Repel now functions in dungeons. So that's going to be an interesting one as well. And Battle Torches. When somebody uses a torch in combat, that is going to be doing some damage, and Fairy Water does basically the same damage as a hurt spell, but to my knowledge has not been resisted yet. I don't think it checks for resistances, so that'll be an interesting option. So we've gotten some gold from the main area here. Looks like we're starting off. Braxis has started off with some combat. Got his first level, 9 power, 7, 8, and 5. That's a nice level. Alright, looks like Diabetes the Second did a gold grind. That's a little technical glitch from the original Dragon Quest series, the original Dragon Warrior. Basically, the game can only remember how many chests you've actually opened, and when you exceed that amount, you start opening the chest, and it just continues letting you open that chest. So he's actually got a lot of money, saved himself, so he's going to be looking to do some vending here pretty soon, it looks like. In addition, you've got another random flag that we've got here that I failed to mention earlier was randomized prices in the shop, as well as randomized what is in the shop. So you could have a silver shield for 1 gold piece, or you could have the bling mail, the chainmail, for over 14k. As a correction, thank you for bringing that up in the chat, Tilo Kate. Metal Slimes will resist it. Both the torches and the fairy water are a coin flip, just like normal. So thank you for that clarification. Ooh, Diabetes going to opt for a reset instead of accepting that death from the Drakema. The Hangry Canuck also opting for a reset there. I don't really blame them. Right now, it looks like all of our runners, having all of this gold available to them, they're looking around trying to find a place to spend some of that cash. Braxis Muse looks like he's more content to start grinding out some levels. Perfectly understandable. When in doubt, grind it out. Just took down a Druid Lord. That's a nice kill. And has already gotten himself all the way up to level 5. So he's got the experience lead right now. But again, anything goes in this. There's still a lot of game left. Ooh, there we go. That Druid Lord was taking vengeance on his buddy's part. Alright, looks like the other two have already decided that, you know what, there doesn't look like there's anything nearby. Let's just go ahead and grind out some levels as well. And with all of those swamps in the area, I can certainly understand why. This technically isn't a big swamp seed. That'll come later in the tournament. Spoilers. But looks like they're opting to get a few kills under their belt, get some stats going on before venturing too much further. Warlocks with the Hurt spell, that's actually not too bad. Oh, Poltergeist has Sleep. Do they have the Wombo combo? Oh, not quite. They just have a Hurt, not a Hurt more, it looks like. So, the Wombo combo, for those new to this series, is when an enemy has a combination of Sleep and either Hurt More or the Dragon Lord 2 Breath, which is always fun. Yes, level 6 has the Hurt More. That's gonna get real interesting real fast. That's a great way to start taking out really powerful enemies in a very short order. That actually puts monsters as powerful as Axe Knights on farm as a one-hit kill potentially. And we have our first town of Cantlin found. We got a silver shield for 274. How's that for a deal? Of course, the magic armor's over 10 grand, so probably a little bit of a price hike there, but let's see what the other one has. And because they don't need to worry about keys, he can just go in and browse. And there's a flame sword for 37 gold! And of course the full plate there that he just picked up as well. Did he not see the flame sword? I guess not. Well. And here's the third weapon and armor shop, the silver shield again, half plate magic armor. Nothing big there. Oh, I guess Braxis did not see that flame sword there. Unfortunate, but that's okay. Oh, nope, he's going back for a second look. And he picks up the broadsword instead. That'll work. Meanwhile, the other two are closing this experience gap. Diabetes hitting level 5. I believe the Stones Cave was just gold. I could be wrong, though. Somebody correct me on that. As was pointed out, he does have the Hurt More to being able to bring on the big boom, so the weaker weapon is not exactly the worst thing in the world, but looks like the Hangry Canuck has made his way into Cantlin as well. Looks like he's just browsing for now, checking out all of his options before making his purchases. A wise decision. Diabetes the second also finding Cantlin. And there's the Hangry Canuck with the Flame Sword purchase. Let's see if he can get that to pay off for him. Diabetes picking up the silver shield. Looks like the Hangry Canuck also picking up the half plate. Alright, so we're really gearing up here. Other than the magic armor, realistically about the best gear that money can buy. So, gold much less relevant at this point. Now we're just looking to check off our list of items that we're gonna need, and for those new to this series, we are looking for the Stones of Sunlight, the harp, the silver harp, which has been turned in for the Staff of Rain at the Staff Cave, and then the Erdrick's Token, which, fun fact, is in the lore the same item that was the Rubissus Charm from Dragon Warrior 3. So you get these 3 things, then you go to what is called the Jerk Cave, the guy who turns them in for the rainbow drop, and then from there go into Charlock itself, which, as I said, since we've got short Charlock, you're going straight to the Dragon Lord's floor. And yes, there was a question in chat. Yes, all of the prices are set across the seed, and the same item will be the same price wherever you might find it. Muse finding the big armor and the Stones of Sunlight and Erdrick's sword. Hello! So, Muse just had huge finding of gear here. He got the best weapon in the game, Erdrick's sword, the best armor in the game, Erdrick's armor, and the Stones of Sunlight, one of those 3 key items I was talking about earlier, and a fighter's ring for an extra 2 attack power, at least in the randomizer. Didn't work in the vanilla version due to a bug, but we fixed that here. Looks like the Hangry Canuck getting sent back to the castle by a Druid Lord. The flags in this seed, the standard ones, plus short Charlock, battle torches, which I don't think anyone has taken of advantage yet. So, torches and fairy water do damage. Randomized prices. And, of course, Scaredy Slimes and Repel works in Dungeon. So that was a huge pickup for Braxis. It has the best equipment in the game, so Braxis is just looking for stuff and looking for levels to get the stats where he needs to end this out. So this could be a short game, or depending on how the stats do, we could still be in for a grind. It's all about the randomness. Yeah, yesterday there was a sub-hour game, and there was a game that went over an hour and a half just because nobody had any strength. So it could still go either way. I mean, the stat gains have been pretty okay so far, but we'll see. Yeah, I missed the coordinates there, since they were in Cantlin. At least one of them I know picked them up, I just didn't catch the coordinates. Looks like the Hangry Canuck has also made his way into Mountain Cave, and he's gonna get the loots. Meanwhile, Diabetes II, checking out a different cave. And he found, looks like Garen. Now, at level 8, with the best equipment around, Braxis really isn't an option to have a lot of different options for what he can grind on. The stats are not bad for level 8. The MP is already getting close to where you'd want to have them for the Dragon Lord fight. Looks like the 3 chests behind Garen, nothing too impressive. Look like an herb, some cash, and the cave behind there is... Is that Tablet Cave, I believe? No? Is that? No, that's Vanilla Garen's grave. Okay. Ooh, level 9 brought Heal More, another critical spell to get. That is really going to help out. Heal More, the best healing in the game. really critical for being able to get stuff. Defense and magic points are already looking okay. They just need some more attack and some more hit points, really, to be able to tackle the Dragon Board. This seed is really taking off here. Only 15 minutes into the game, and we're already looking at where is that harp and where is Big C. And while we're doing that, let me just go over again. I am Sneaky the Lost, your commentator for the day, MathGirl1718 as our restreamer, and Cyberdark is our tracker for the day. Thank you. Somebody got it for me. Looks like they have found Breckenary and the Motel 6 the Hangry Canuck has. Not too terribly important, although if it's close to something impressive, that Motel 6 can really save you a lot of hassle. Called the Motel 6, by the way, because the hotel there is only 6 gold, the cheapest in the game. So, we'll leave the light on for you. Looks like the Hangry Canuck picking up a Dragon Scale for another couple of defense. And an herb at the bottom of Garen's grave. Now, Star Wyverns, sometimes, oh, hey, there's Jerk Cave. That's useful information the Hangry Canuck has found. Mostly because once you get everything together, that's where you're going to need to go to turn them all in. Looks like Raxus Muse has found Rimuldar, which would normally be an enormous thing, except that we don't need keys in this particular set of flags. But still a useful place to find. You do have this one chest back here. Who knows what it could have? Just some gold, but that's okay. Alright, looks like we have found coal. There's a search spot there. Nothing to be found. There are 3 search spots. And the other 2 could potentially have the token and or the harp. Since these have... Oh, no, wait a minute. The harp has already been found. So it could still potentially have the token there, or it could be on coordinates. And that's going to be in Hawksness whenever we find that town. Having said that, well, no, they can't have critical items in Charlock, so one of those 2 areas could very well have the Stones of Sunlight, either the search spot with the coordinates or the trap tile that is being guarded in Hawksness. I don't believe we've seen Swamp Cave yet either. Oh, hey, there's Charlock. And that's an interesting setup for a town sitting right there in between the water there, blocking everything off. But now he knows where Charlock is, Diabetes II does. That's useful information to know for later. Yeah, true, it is a bit of a hike. But fortunately, you've got a town nearby, so if you leave yourself enough for an outside, you can run over, spend the night, and come right back if you want to start farming in there for something, if the trap tile there is useful. Looks like Muse is wanting to go on a bit of an exploration. He's wanting to find the other two critical items, so he's going to go ahead and rappel up and start searching. Ooh, werewolves have the Dragon Lord 2 breath. Spicy. Alright. Now Diabetes II has found the Jerk Cave, also useful information. However, he hasn't found the mountain cave yet. However, he did just find Hawksnest. So this could be very valuable for him. All three runners really are still in the running. No one really has a commanding lead at this point. Still anyone's game. And it is an Armored Knight, or as we refer to him occasionally in the community, the AK-47, because of how hard it hits. However, that went down fairly painlessly to a couple of hurt Moors. And we have Erdrick's Token in Hawksnest. So now we at least know where all three items are, but Diabetes II is the only one with the harp and the token. Looks like Muse is not going to want to try and count it out. He has gone ahead and rescued the princess for the Gwaelin positioning system. I don't really blame him. I tend to be a lot more conservative and tend to not want to count things out. My handle is, of course, Sneaky the Lost, and I earned that name for a reason. No, I don't think GPS has existed, at least not civilian GPS. Did not exist back in the late 80s. Wasn't really made available until the first Gulf War in the 90s. And there's Diabetes, discovering that werewolves have DL2 breath. Stoneman, I believe, with a heal more. Fortunately, he had that stop spell ready for him. Yep, 23 north, 63 west. Diabetes II just slaughtering everything in its way, and Wizard with the DL2 breath as well. Now, they've just returned the princess, and little known fact, if you if your inventory is full when you hand in the princess to her father, and she gives you Gwaelin's love, she will take an item out of your inventory based on the value of the item for resale. And there's actually going to be, in the third week of this tournament, a special condition where if she takes a cursed belt from you, it's an instant victory. So that'll be interesting to see in a couple of weeks. Oh, we found the death necklace. Diabetes the Second did. In our randomizer stream, there he is. There's the Stones of Sunlight. He's got the armor. He's probably going to get the sword while he's down there. Get him all nice and kitted out. But the death necklace is interesting. Normally, it's just a cursed item. Does damage to you every step, basically. However, in the randomizer, what it does is it reduces your maximum hit points by 25% to give a plus 10 attack power. Now, at level 11, he's looking like an attack power of 121, MP 81, defense of 80, and hit points of 91. So this doesn't look like a scenario where that's going to be very useful. You need a lot of hit points to go up against the Dragon Lord. He can hit pretty hard, and his fire breath can do up to 48 damage. So multiply that by 2 and then add 1. You're going to need at least 97 hit points to be able to guarantee being able to hit him every other turn. So, and that's assuming you've got enough defense that his physical attacks aren't doing more. So you're really wanting at least 100 for that. And as far as attacking him goes, well, there's an interesting calculation with that. The Dragon Lord has 100 defense, the second highest in the game, behind the Metal Slime. And basically what that means is you take the attack power. So let's look at the attack power of Diabetes II, 123. We subtract 100 right off the top, divide by 2, that's your maximum hit. So 23 rounded down is 22, divided by 2 is 11. Divide by 2 again is, say, 5. So 11 to 5 range right now. That's not going to cut it against the Dragon Lord. So, here's Brax's Muse having found Hawksness. And so he's also going to get the token. And the Hangry Canuck right behind him on, almost synced up there, except the Hangry Canuck ends up, AK's living up to their name. So Diabetes taking a look at his stats and going, do I? He's actually got 101 hit points at level 12. That was some good hit point gains there in that level. MP is not quite where we would normally like it to be. However, remember, this is short Charlock, and Charlock is often really the big problem because you have to wind your way all the way down with all of the fights, which can burn several heal mores. Well, you don't have that anymore, so you can probably afford to feel comfortable going in with a little bit less MP than usual. But the defense, we really would like to see a little bit more. The attack, we'd really want to see a little bit more. Alright, there's Braxis passing by Big C, heading into Garen. An herb, the gold, and of course, the greatest villain in this entire piece, the NPCs standing where you want to go, more gold. The Hangry Canuck now down in Garen's grave. Looks like Muse is getting rid of his cursed belt so that he can make room for more stuff. Buying up some torches, that's always useful, both for making some light and maybe doing some damage. We are just at about 30 minutes into this matchup. Diabetes has all 3 items. I don't think he knows where the staff cave is, though. Never mind, he just found it. My mistake. He does know where Jerk Cave is and where Charlock is. We could be seeing Diabetes as the first one in Big C. Hangry just a little bit lost wandering around in the grave. I remember the first time I owned this game way back on the 80s on the NES. I got so lost down there, so I don't blame him at all. Diabetes II going into Rimuldar to take a nap. And that's probably going to be him going in trying to do his first Charlock dodge. Now, an interesting thing that he could try to do, even though his strength is a little lacking, is if he picks up a few fairy waters and starts chunking them at the Dragon Lord, he could get himself a little bit extra damage, and maybe even things out a bit. We'll see. Going back down, the Hangry Canuck. Looks like Muse has decided the grave is not where he wants to go, and he's looking around some more. Meanwhile, Diabetes taking a trip back home to try and, I'm betting, go to Jerk Cave. Yes, Muse picked up the harp down in the grave. Not exactly its vanilla location, but at least in the same dungeon. So, yeah, he's also looking to go ahead and get everything turned in and stick his nose into Charlock. So, 32 minutes in, 2 runners have all of the necessary ingredients. The third one just picked it up right now. So, we are still at a very close race here. There's only 2 levels difference between the best experience and the worst, so again, anything can still go. Right now, they know they've got a grind spot on the Trapped Tile in Hawksness, but they also know it's an Armored Knight, and that's not always the best idea. So it'll be interesting where we go from there. Level 12 is almost but not quite trigger stats, at least not for me. But then again, I'm not the best runner, which is why I'm sitting here yapping my gab. You know, the old saying goes, those who can do, those who can't commentate. Ding 13. 4 response speed, 2 hit points, no strength. I love it! That would be Empty Eye's catchphrase when he gets a 0 stat. Alright, now we've got Diabetes II with the Rainbow Drop. Here's Charlock right here, and we're going to see our first look into Charlock. You know, I thought that was so trippy using the first time I used it as a kid. All of the different colors on the water. He's just completely skipping the treasury because he knows there's nothing there that he really cares about. He's got everything he could possibly want for them. And like I said earlier, it is a short Charlock seed, so we just went straight to the Dragon Lord's floor. there's the werewolf that, as we recall, has the DL2 breath. That's a little painful. Now, at 51 MP left, he really doesn't have the MP to take on the Dragon Lord, but information is valuable, and depending on what that spike tile is, that could be a very viable grind spot with the town right next door. YOLO strats. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh, Armored Knight. And looks like we've got a raid incoming. Fear on Burgundy with a raiding party. Welcome to the fun, guys. It's 35 minutes into the seed. We are already almost at trigger stats. We've got one person in Charlock. Everyone else already has their laundry list done. This is going to be a close race. You're coming in for the nice, sweet photo finish here. Looks like that trap tile is the Armored Knight. Looks like Diabetes is going to go ahead and take that. Ding 14, power 2, speed 2, 3, and then 4. Not quite what we're looking for. Looks like he's going to grind out another level. Yeah, it looks like the Dragon Lord kind of took a few pages from the Evil Genius Handbook, you know? I will not make my castle a huge maze because I want to be able to navigate through it, and I want my evil minions to be able to navigate through it without getting lost. Likewise, I will not make my Evil Fortress of Solitude a death trap because I want my minions to survive it. So, looks like Diabetes did some grinding, ran low on resources, headed back to the inn, should be going back in shortly. In the meanwhile, our other two runners are likewise getting their chores taken care of, getting everything, looks like, going to be trading in, and then we'll probably be heading in shortly themselves. Yes, Fairy Water and Torches do full damage to DL2. Could easily be sub 45 minutes, yes. Well, you know, with RNG, sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Yesterday there were 2 runs that were ran. One was over an hour and a half because they just did not have the stats until level 19. The one following it was 46 minutes for first place. They just kind of flew through this, and this particular seed looks like it could be following suit. We're still at 38 minutes, and Diabetes is making the round. He's got 83 hit points, so he's got enough for enough heal mores. He could try to make this a viable run. I'd probably want at least one more level first, maybe get some more strength under my belt just to be sure, but hey, you know? The Hangry Canuck just getting his rainbow drop. That is actually an interesting question in chat. Up to NG, I wonder if MP builds are viable with that mechanic. It's entirely possible. You don't need as much magic if you don't have to worry about going down 7 levels of Charlock. And of course, none of the runners have turn or outside yet. Up to 9, 11, and 6. He's looking at his stats. Looks like he's going, nah, I want at least one more level here. But yeah, none of the, oh, yeah, okay, looks like level 14 was the return spell, so he does have all... Looks like the Hangry Canuck is grinding the Armor Knight and Hawksness for a bit. Diabetes II grinding here right next to the Dragon Lord. And looks like there's a Stone Man on the Swamp Spike tile that Braxis Muse is going to be grinding on. Although it looks like it's got Stop Spell and DL2 Breath. Well, the Stop Spells are at least a free hit. Now, how much for the experience for level 16? We are on a fast experience, so only half as much experience needed. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah. Amazing Toaster, I believe, has that right at 6,500 experience. So he's about another, what, 700 experience out? Not too shabby, probably one more grind. Yeah, really needing some more strength, and the hit points just aren't favorable for Cursed Necklace strats. Correct, very fast experience, so the experience requirements for each level are half of what they would normally be. Yeah, next week is going to be interesting. We're actually looking at a very fast Chaos, which is going to be quite interesting. So Braxis Muse making his rounds, but he's only level 14. He really doesn't have the stats necessary either. All three of our runners currently in Charlock, though. So again, very close race. I anticipate there being not much more than about 5 minutes between first and last place here. Diabetes wanting something other than that Armored Knight, but no, he's just going to go ahead and do that. Braxis Muse discovering that the Spike tile is an Armored Knight as well. Fortunately, the Armored Knights aren't too bad on this, as they don't have any fun abilities. And yeah, looks like Diabetes is definitely like, okay, regardless of what I get at 16, I'm probably gonna pull the trigger here. He's not using his spells or anything. He's using his herbs. Is he just gonna try and get his level on his way to the Dragon Lord? It looks like it is. There's the Axe Knight. That's also a solid grind option. And there's our level! Power by 19! Speed 3! Hit points 34! This is definitely go time. Alright, let's settle in and see what we can do. Thou art a fool. And here we go. Let's see how this will work. Oh, he is putting on the cursed necklace. I mean, he still has 114 even after the necklace. With that enormous HP gains, I do not blame him. There goes a hurt more, which is a little bit obnoxious, but he's still at 93 hit points, so even if the Dragon Lord gets a preemptive, he should still be okay. But this is gonna hurt. So 58 divided by 2 is, what, 39? Okay, so a maximum hit of 39. Whoa. Yeah, this hit 29? Oh man, I almost feel sorry for the Dragon Lord. Almost. Yeah, this isn't gonna take very long. Meanwhile, the other two fellows are grinding up at the same location he was in. $14 to $29. Thank you, Amazing Toaster. And get out your GGs, everyone. That is the Dragon Lord down. Diabetes going to be rolling into pole position. Okay. 46 minutes. GG, 46-38. Good job, Diabetes. We'll get him here in just a second. Oh, that was an unfortunate death for Muse. And here we are. We've got Diabetes here, first place winner of this particular match. What are your impressions on this one?
Well, I wish I would have found the Cave of Wonders a little bit earlier, but I think overall things went pretty well. Man, that mountain cave. Seriously.
That mountain cave dough. Yeah, that really helped you start pulling ahead early on. You were the first one to find it.
Yeah, I jumped through the swamp cave early. It's something I don't usually do, but I figured I have hurt more. I can at least check the tile, etc. I get sent back, I think, by a werewolf or something with DL2 breath. And then I just decided, hey, I gotta clear at least first continent. It might be small, plus the search coordinates, which I think I had at that point, were also in that direction. And it just turned out that I didn't need those, and everything I needed was right there in that cave.
Yeah, I mean, you came in like, what is it, 46-38. So, wow, blazing fast run here.
Yeah, much appreciated. So thanks to MathGrow for rolling that gem. That's a good thing. One thing I will say, though, in thinking about, how I approached, I guess, the end game, I really, really considered going at 15. I was doing the math. I was sitting right around 15, 16 attacks, 12-ish heal mores. And I figured, or actually, I think I considered going even at 14. The math was a little dicey. If I had gone back to get Holy Waters, I think I could have pulled it off. But I thought the grind was just too fast to waste time going back for that.
Yeah, we had actually discussed that out here. Was going, okay, is he going to go now, even though his strength really isn't quite where he wants it to be? Maybe pick up some fairy waters and see what he can do. But no, you just did that grind there. And then, of course, level 16 just gave you everything.
Yeah, level 16 was a bit of a treat. I'm thinking, I'd give me like 3 power. 3 power is all I need. And then it's 19 power and 33 hit points or something? I mean...
Yeah, ridiculous. And then, of course, you decided to go for the swag drag necklace, the cursed necklace, and oh boy.
Hey, at that point, why not? It's like, I could use like 150 attack power, that's good.
Yeah, hi, how's it going? No, I'm actually doing as much damage to you as you are to me. Have a nice day.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was definitely a fun time. Definitely a fun seed. Much appreciated for that.
All right, and it was a fairly close race. We've actually got both of your other competitors just starting the Dragon Lord fight now.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you guys take it away as I watch as well.
All right, GG, man. So Muse and the Hangry Canuck are both going after him. Unfortunately, the Hangry Canuck is only level 14. His stats aren't nearly as favorable as Braxis is, who also chose to do the Death Necklace strat. And with a back attack. Oh no. Maybe we can get a swag crit in here, huh? No? We've even got a sprite glitch on the gold. I've actually never seen that one before. And get out your GGs for Braxis Muse. Down goes the Dragon Lord. Can the Hangry Canuck pull this off? Swagmore, no. Swagmore, no. Can he do this? Now keep in mind, the Dragon Lord 2 has a resistance to hurt and hurt more at a rate of 15 out of 16 times. He will resist it. So, unfortunately, there goes the Hangry Canuck back to the castle, but not quite in the same way that he had hoped he would. Braxis Muse rolling into second place with 53 minutes, 1 second. And keep in mind that with these tournaments, first place gets 5 points. Second place gets 3 points. Third place does get 2 points. And that is going to be what the Hangry Canuck is going to be. So just because you don't come out first place doesn't mean you're not still in the running. It's a long tournament with a lot longer, with many more matchups and every opportunity to catch up. So the Hangry Canuck looking like he's going to try and finish this off. Meanwhile, here is Braxis Muse joining us in the commentary booth. Hey, how's it going? Hello? I believe you're muted.
You guys hear me?
There you are. All right. So, first impressions.
At first I was, a little concerned when we loaded and I saw the swamp, but it actually wasn't nearly as bad because you didn't actually have to walk in the swamp. But when I hit Mountain Cave at like, what was it, 7 minutes in, and it literally wanted to give you everything, the sword, the armor, and then I think, what, the Stone to Sunlight was down there?
Indeed. I mean, it was just like Dat Cave dough.
The only thing that like I stumbled on is I couldn't remember, even with my notes, where the Staff of Rain Cave was, and I probably spent 5 minutes trying to backtrack to look for that. And then once I got to Charlock and I saw that it was the Armored Knight, I was actually tempted to go at level 15 because we had 129 attack power, 12 heal mores, and I mean it would have been, possible, not guaranteed, but it would have been possible, but I didn't want to risk it, die, and then end up losing first place. But then I saw Diabetes said must have been right there about the same time because I saw he had just finished when I was debating that.
Yeah, he was right there as well. He decided to do some grinding on that Armored Knight, hit 16, and well, 16 was just everything you could ever hope for. And from there just proceeded to finish things off.
Yeah, and I put on the Death Necklace. It wasn't even needed, I mean, but just for the memes there at the end.
I mean, what's a casual 29 max? So yeah, I mean, it was an amazing run. It was a very, very close run right up to the very end. All three of you are just excellent runners. The Hangry Canuck looking like he's gonna be finishing this up shortly as well. Thank you very much for whoever linked that in the chat with all of the links for the randomizer. If you ever decide you want to join in on the fun, there's our Discord community link, and of course the tournament bracket link there too as well, so you can keep up with who's doing what to who. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna opt to grind up to 16.
I was curious whether he would consider going at 15, since at 14 he did attempt it. Again, the math was sketchy at best, but again, with Fairy Water, the numbers were close. It's interesting to see that he's kind of given up on that idea and just say, hey, let's do this safely.
Well, he actually tried for some Swagmore strats. So 16 probably the conservative approach. It might have been doable at 15, especially because we're talking about short Charlock, so you didn't have to burn Healmores on your way down, which really makes your MP a little safer than you would normally have going into Charlock. So I could have seen an attempt at 15, but really 16, I mean, it's just everything you could ever ask for in a level.
Of course, at 15, you don't necessarily know that, hey, it's going to turn from questionable to free with the stat gains that were there. You make a good point, though, about the short Charlock being kind of a game changer and not having to go through that, 8-floor gauntlet. In addition to that, the enemy set that was there with our defense power, assuming, full armor, your defense breaking, I think, the Star Wyverns and the Green Dragons that you'd face. You would break the Werewolves as well, but, DL2 breath.
Yeah, they were the only one with the DL2 breath that I saw.
That may be the case. I can't think of any others that I encountered. I know they sent me back at least once with that. But that's the only DL2 breath I can recall as well.
Yeah. By the way, Braxis Muse, you realize that there was like a 29 gold flame sword there in Cantland that you had completely passed up in favor of the broadsword from the very same.
I didn't. I was, like I said, when I was looking at the shops, I was just trying to see what was there as fast as I could and move on. But I mean, it didn't really matter too much because, like I said, Erdrick's sword was right around the corner in Mountain Cave, and for a lot of those early enemies, even with the broadsword and not having a good attack power, it seemed like the hurt spell was way more being efficient for XP grinding, anyways.
Well, you certainly have a point. That early Hurtmore really opened up this seed to a lot of possibilities and let you do a lot more exploring than you otherwise would. And then, of course, Healmore came in fairly early as well, which was also a really big help.
Oh, I agree completely. In addition to that, there really weren't very many overworld enemies that were big bottleneck, game changers. I mean, we didn't see, at least I didn't, any red dragons. Not even, I don't believe, blue dragons or anything that you basically couldn't hurt more, with the exception of maybe a wizard here and there, which were fairly tame by comparison.
Yeah, they only had a hurt spell, not a hurt more, so they were fairly tame. The wizards were. I think someone did run into a blue dragon, but yeah, the fun police were notable in their absence this season.
Did anybody else, when they found the Swamp North entrance, did they go check the tile and try to get a early Hurtmore off the Stonemen? Considering once you actually got there, they seemed to be like favorable for a stop spell.
Actually, the Hangry Canuck was there grinding against it for a while.
Like when I saw that it was there and it was just spamming stop spell, I tried to just spam Hurtmore and try to at least get one kill because I knew the XP at level 5 would have been worth it, but it took me, I think, 2 different attempts just to kill it the first time.
Yeah, I think the Hangry Canuck grinded at that Stoneman for a little bit before moving on to better ground. Speaking of which, he is rounding the final corner, gone through the spike tile, and is going to be declared a fool. Oh, trying to do some hero walk strats. The green dragon, nope, evaded, no problem. Healing up. Puts on the death necklace. Everyone using death necklace strats this seed. And is a fool.
The other thing, too, to make a note of this seed, it was ironic how the search tile was actually on top of a town. Now, you don't usually come across that very often, so.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh, that was an easy Dragon Lord 1 fight. The guy just tried to do a stop spell and, well, yeah. 12, 16, that'll be 28 so far. Yeah, he's got this one in the bag now. Ah, there's you at 29. Oh, you hit me for 29 here. Let me hit you back for 24. You know, trade blow for blow.
Just answering a quick question in chat was brought up. Well, if a search spot is on a town, how do you find that? Because when you walk on the town spot, you enter it. If you exit the town, you'll be on that particular tile and you can search from there.
I think the most notable search spot that we have, and I think there was a clip in our Discord, was Angel FM was running a seed and actually got the coordinates of 00. So it was actually on Tantagle Castle.
In the other basement, I'm assuming. But yeah, this was actually a pretty close race. There we go. Get out your GGs, everybody. There is the Hangry Canuck with the fight closing out this race. All right, that's going to be it. So we've got Diabetes the Second with a time of 46:38, Praxis Muse with a time of 53:01, and the Hangry Canuck with a time of 1:05:19. Let's see if we can get him in here for these things, and then we'll wrap it up. Again, thank you everybody for joining us here tonight. Keep in mind, this is only the first of 4 races going on this evening, so we've got a solid lineup of Dragon Warrior Randomizer for you going on all night long. I am Sneaky the Lost, your commentator. We have running the tracker Cyberdark. And, of course, our restreamer, Math Girl. And here we are joined by the Hangry Canuck. Hey, thoughts on this particular scene?
I was Super Jet. I just played it totally wrong at the start.
Oh, it was actually a fairly close race up quite a ways, actually.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time looking for the rainbow, not the rainbow drop, but the harp cave.
Yep, same vanilla cave anyway, different location within that cave, obviously. But I mean, you did a really bang up job in the early game. You ended up picking up the flame sword. One of our other runners missed that one and picked up the broadsword instead. Not that it mattered, because by about 10 minutes in, everybody had the big stick anyway. That mountain cave, though, right?
Oh, that was loaded. The armor, the sword, the stones was like, wow. The second I picked up the harp, though, in the grave, I didn't even bother checking anything else.
Yeah, well, hey, there was nothing else left to get at that point. At that point, it's just a matter of turning in your laundry honeydew list and then go.
You know, like how I got lost the first time?
Hey, you know what? I remember getting lost in that place so many times growing up. You got no room to complain.
I was literally panicking. If my torch runs out, I'm pretty much done for. Because nothing here is going to be able to kill me.
I don't think torches can run out.
Okay, well, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah, the radiant spell will, of course, but torches do not run out. They last as long as you're in the zone. So yeah. Also, of course, in this particular seed, you had the opportunity to try and pitch them as weapons, and the fairy water. But no, this is a solid race for everybody. I mean, much better than I would have been able to do. So, congratulations to all 3.
Well, the second I found the sword and the armor in the same cave, I knew the other 2 were probably miles ahead of me at the time, so.
Not really that far ahead. It was pretty close until, what, 30 minutes-ish in. we were looking at that and going, wow, these level 10, level 12 stats, they're getting pretty close. Are we going to be able to see, a half an hour seed? And then, of course, the stats kind of petered out until 16.
Yeah, 16 was big. I tried to go hurt more strats at level 14, so.
Yeah, I tried to go for that swag more, but got denied, unfortunately.
No, but it was fun. I didn't find it bad seed. I think I did alright for an hour 5 for someone who's only played one of them.
Hey man, you definitely, earned a respectable place here. There are no losers in this particular run. Everybody did an amazing job. So seriously, guys. But I think we're gonna go ahead and hand it off now, so that we can get set up for the next run coming in here shortly.
Alright, well, thanks for the restream, Math Girl, and thanks for the comms and the tracker and everybody that was involved. Appreciate it, and good luck next week to Brax and Diabetes.